All right, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Let's get this shit started. For anyone who is paying attention to this year's NCAA tournament, you guys know damn well, being that now we now know the final four teams that made it into the final four, right? Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, and Villanova. So if anybody see the writing on the wall, you would know that this is set up for Duke to win the national championship. You know, I've always had a hunch about that during this college basketball season, especially being that this is Mike Krzyzewski's final season as head coach. Because afterwards he's going to retire, right? And I think I even said this in one of my past videos. When I was watching, when I was in the Barclays Center attending one of the ACC tournaments, watching the Duke Blue Devils play against the Miami Hurricanes. I showed some clips and I put it on live. And I said, listen, I said the NCAA is going to set this whole thing up so Duke could win a national championship, for Mike Krzyzewski to retire, winning another national championship. If you guys understand anything about sports, you would know that sports have to have a storyline. All sports have to have a storyline because that's what keeps the entertainment side of sports popping. That's what keeps people watching. And what good storyline? What good storyline is there for Mike Krzyzewski, who's basically the Bill Belichick of college basketball outside of the cheating, to leave the NCAA on top by winning another championship ring or another national championship? What up, Rudem? Rudem says facts. After Gonzaga and Houston lost, I knew Duke would win for Coach K. Yeah. This is all set up for Duke to win the national championship. Shoot. You know what? That's true. Let me highlight Rude M's comment again. Because with me, after I saw Baylor and Gonzaga get eliminated and Kentucky get eliminated, I said, yo, Duke got it. Duke got it because I felt that Gonzaga, well, I don't think this year's Gonzaga team, but Baylor and Kentucky can at least match up with Duke and beat Duke. So once Baylor, in my opinion, Kentucky and Gonzaga got eliminated, I said, nah, Duke gonna win it. This is all set up for Duke to win it. Yeah. Once again, sports have to have a storyline. And since this is Mike Krzyzewski's final season as head coach for the Duke Blue Devils before he retires, the sports world, not only the NCAA, but the sports world, wants to see Mike Krzyzewski leave winning another championship. I mean, if you pay attention to this whole NCAA tournament, whenever Duke plays, before the Duke Blue Devil about to play a game, what do you see? You see the camera rolling on Mike Krzyzewski with him holding his wife's hand, walking into the arena. Like, how many coaches this season do you see them, the camera pointed to them, holding their wife's hand, walking into the arena? Okay, well, as you're saying, you're more into football and rugby. That's cool. But what's going on, Jury Saint? But back to what I'm talking about. See, the thing is that Mike Krzyzewski is like, he's like college basketball's wonder boy, because the college basketball world always loved Mike Krzyzewski. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I mean, he is a great coach. But it's like, but it's like not only that. Think about it. UNC made it to the Final Four. So in the semifinal round of the Final Four, Duke University is going to play against the University of North Carolina. This is the first time that North Carolina plays against Duke in the Final Four. What better storyline to present than Duke playing against its major rivals, North Carolina, and beating them, thus going to the national championship? I mean, this is a great storyline, being that Mike Krzyzewski is about to retire as head coach. What better way than Mike Krzyzewski to retire by saying we played against our biggest rivals in the Final Four, beat them, and then played in the national championship and won on top? Rudem says all the great coaches win 6 championships. Belichick, Saban, Coach K, and eventually Greg Popovich. Exactly. You know what, Rudem? I didn't even think about it like that, Rude. I didn't even think about it like that. But now that you brought it up, that's a very good point. You know what I'm saying? That's a very good point, being that you brought that up. But yo, I mean, think about that. Listen, you got to understand this. A lot of people think that the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox is the most popular sports rivalry in all of American sports. But according to some websites, that's considered the second most popular sports rivalry. The most popular rivalry in all of American sports is Duke versus North Carolina. So what better way than to cap off Mike Krzyzewski's final season by saying that he beat his rivals to then advance to the national championship? And not only that, yeah, I think Mike Krzyzewski's Polish. Rudemp. Hold on for a minute. Let me go to my I think Krzyzewski, he's Polish and shit. I know he's of Polish descent. Grew up in Chicago, Illinois, because Chicago, Illinois have a large Polish American population, you know. But he's of Polish descent. Grew up in Chicago. Hold on for a minute. My fault. All right. Let me give Rudemp Oh, he's Polish and Croatian. Okay. He's Polish and Croatian. That's funny. Bill Belichick, Saban, Greg Popovich. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Krzyzewski's Polish and Croatian. Yeah, man. I mean, those guys, yo. But that's funny, Rudemp. I mean, that's not funny. That's interesting when you talk about all the great coaches leave winning 6 championships. And you brought up Popovich, Coach K, eventually, and Bill Belichick, because Mike Krzyzewski already have 5 national championships underneath his belt. Oh, Sigma. The Final Four, this year's Final Four, is now established. It's Duke University, University of North Carolina, Kansas, and Villanova. Kansas, Villanova, Duke, and UNC made it to the Final Four this year. And the first round of the Final Four is going to be between Duke and North Carolina, and the other game is going to be between Kansas and Villanova. Yeah, and check this out. I think Mike Krzyzewski won his first national championship beating Kansas, right? Mike Krzyzewski won his first national championship back in 91, either 1990 or 1991, beating the Kansas Jayhawks. Now look what happened. You got the Kansas Jayhawks in the Final Four also. And if the Kansas Jayhawks beat Villanova in the first round, Kansas will make it to the national championship, in which that's what I believe will happen. Because I don't think Villanova has enough to beat Kansas. Kansas are some killers. This Kansas team, a lot of people are sleeping on Kansas. This Kansas Jayhawks team is good. They are good. All right. Yeah. 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 UNC beat Duke in Duke's final home game. In Duke's final regular season home game, UNC beat Duke. You know what I'm saying? Yo. So think about that. So the storyline is that Mike Krzyzewski began his championship quest beating Kansas and then ending his championship quest beating Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Check out the storyline. That story, you know, I mean, I would love to see, you know, what would be exciting is to see Duke play against Villanova for the national championship. That would be a very exciting game to watch. But once again, I don't think Villanova has what it takes to beat Kansas in the first round of the Final Four. I think Kansas is going to beat Villanova. Duke is going to beat UNC. Thus, it's going to be Duke versus Kansas in the national championship. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, but I think Popovich won 6 in 2014. Remember Sigma American Arcana? I think Popovich won 6 because, okay, Popovich won the championship ring in what? 1999, and then in 2003, then 2005, 2007. Okay, 2014. Oh, okay, he won 5. Okay, Popovich won 5. All right. Yeah, Popovich won 5. Okay. Yeah, he won 5. All right. Yeah, he won 5. Yeah, you guys are right. Yeah, he won 5. Yeah. But those guys, well, those guys, I'm talking about Duke, right? So they setting this whole shit up for Duke to win the national championship. Yeah, 99, 03, 05, and 14. Yeah. 5 championships. Yeah, those are the 5 championships those are the years that Greg Popovich won those 5 championships. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are right. Damn. Yo, Popovich, speaking of Greg Popovich, he's the only NBA head coach, in my opinion, that won at least one NBA finals in 3 straight decades. He won one in the 90s, he won one in the 2000s, and won one in the 2010s. Now, who else did that? Who else did that? Yeah, Duke won 91, 92, 01, 2010, and 15. I thought, hold on, Rudamp, I thought Duke won in 2002. They won in 2000. I thought Duke won in 2002. Well, okay, well, because I remember when they beat that Arizona team, when Duke had Jay Williams, Chris Duhon, Chris Duhon, JJ Redick, who else? Carlos Boozer. Oh, 2002 was Maryland. Oh, okay. Okay. But going back to what I was saying, right? About Duke. This is all set up for Duke to win. And you know the thing is, it's like me growing up, I grew up as a Duke hater. Like I hated Duke. Like I grew up wanting to see Duke lose, even though I always respected Mike Krzyzewski as a coach, but I always wanted to see Duke lose because you know why? Because if you guys, I don't know if you guys paid attention to the tournament every year, but I remember growing up and I'm always seeing Duke always being placed in the easiest bracket. When they have the state, when they set up the tournament, you have the four different regions, right? The East Regional, the West, the South, and the Midwest. And I would always see Duke being placed in the easiest regional where they had the least competition. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, hold on for a minute. How come Duke is always placed in one of the most easiest regionals with the least amount of competition? What the fuck? Yeah, Shane Battier, uh, you know, Carlos Boozer, and Sheldon Williams. No, Jay Williams. Jay Williams, Carlos Boozer, and Shane Battier and Chris Duhon. I don't know if Sheldon Williams was in that team, you know. But I always want to see Duke lose, being the fact that I'm like, shit, them dudes was always in the easiest regional. Yo, that shit used to piss me the fuck off. But I recognize it. Listen, the NCAA want Duke to go as far into the tournament as they possibly can. And this is my further theory on this. And me and my family members will talk about that. When you look at, okay, think about this. Because I think that it's a racial thing that's being played. This is my theory. When it comes to no. I'm speaking about no. I'm not speaking about the conference, Rudemp. I'm not speaking about the conference. I know the ACC was never easy like that as far as the conference. But what I'm saying is that whenever Duke would make it to the NCAA tournament, they would be placed in the easiest regional. You know how the tournament is set up where you have the East Regional? You have 16 teams playing the East Regional. Another 16 teams being placed in the West Regional. Another 16 in the Midwest. Another 16 in the South Regional. Every time when I look at the brackets, I would always see Duke being placed in the easiest regional or the regional with the least amount of competition. Trust me, because I do my brackets almost every year. From 2005, when I first started doing my brackets, all the way to now, except for last year. 2021 was the one year that I missed, that I did not play the brackets. But every year outside of 2021, since 2005, I would play my brackets and I would pay attention to the level of competition in the different regionals of the brackets, and Duke would always be placed in the easiest regional. What's going on, Duke? Excuse me, Jersey Hammer. He says Duke definitely travels well. They were always seen as the respectable team. Those are two reasons why they get the easiest seating. I guess so. Exact. See, Jersey Hammer sees that. Jersey Hammer sees that they get the easiest seating. Yeah. Yeah. Duke, they're like, they're basically America's team of college basketball. And it doesn't matter where they play at, where they go to, Duke will always sell out tickets and they'll always make television ratings. It's sort of like the Dallas Cowboys, right? Whether or not the Cowboys have a championship season, they're always going to make a lot of television ratings in football, and they're always going to sell out wherever they go to, right? Because the Dallas Cowboys is considered to be, quote unquote, America's team, even though they haven't won a Super Bowl in like Lord knows how long. No disrespect to Cowboy fans, but the way the Dallas Cowboys is seen in the NFL, like their reputation, that's the same reputation Duke have had ever since the early 90s. And like I said, my further theory is that there's a racial aspect to this too. Because think about this. How many great white hopes came out of Duke? How many great white hopes came out of Duke? How many great Caucasian American basketball players came out of Duke? Think about that. Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, JJ Redick, JJ Redick, and what's this? Greg Paulus, who was King, I think Kyle Singler. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had these Caucasian guys who a lot of people hope to be this great white hope that maybe if they make, yeah, I mean, they was only good at Duke. Don't get it twisted. They was only good at Rudep. Those plays was only good in Duke, right? But they was seen. Grayson Allen, exactly. Grayson Allen. That's one more person, Rudep. Thank you for that. Exactly. Uh, Plumlee. Which Plumlee twin made it? Did both of the Plumlee twins make it to Duke? Played in Duke? Because I know there's two Plumlees that played for Duke. Yeah, I think both of them did. Right? Grayson Allen, the Plumlee twins. You know, and these players were the players. Mike Dunleavy Jr. Exactly. You know, these Caucasian American players are players that a lot of people hoped to become the great white hope once they get to the next level in the NBA, right? So Duke did recruit and develop a lot of quote unquote great white hopes. Yes, that is true. That is true. That is true. Jersey Hammer says that is what I meant. That is what I mean by respectable. Between the Leightons and Hurleys of the world, the blacks that play for Duke are seen as the respectable blacks. Exactly. Like the respectable and clean cut blacks, like the Grant Hills of the world. You know, the Grant Hills of the world, the Elton Brands of the world, the Corey Maggettys of the world, the respectable clean cut blacks. You know? Yeah, the Austin Rivers of the world. Yeah. Yeah, Mason Plumlee. And you also had his brother Mike Plumlee. Because there was two Plumlees that played for Duke. They were twins, Mason Plumlee and Mike Plumlee. Right? And don't forget Greg Paulus. Y'all remember Greg Paulus? That point guard that played for Duke during the mid to late 2000s. Yeah. Kyle Singler was good. Yeah. And Bob Hurley was good. Bob Hurley was a very good. He probably the best point guard to ever come out of Duke was Bob Hurley. You know. But yeah, Jersey Ham, I get what you mean. Yeah, the quote unquote respectable team. Yeah. So, like I said, there's a racial aspect to it. I'm a little long-winded, but sorry about that. Because Duke is a school known for recruiting and quote unquote creating the hopeful great white hopes. You know, so therefore America loved Duke. You know, Duke was like the breeding ground to create to breeding ground of recruiting the potential great white hopes that'll have the great white boy back in basketball again. That was what, in my opinion, that's how America viewed Duke. At, like Jersey Hammer would say, quote unquote, respectable. And this is why, in my personal opinion, Duke was seen as America's team. Yeah, yeah, yeah. After Greg Paulus graduated from Duke, he ended up going to Syracuse to get his master's degree, and he ended up playing quarterback for the University of Syracuse. And Greg Paulus, he's from Syracuse, New York. He's from Syracuse, New York. Because I remember him when he played high school basketball and he was doing his thing in upstate New York playing high school basketball. Yeah, yeah, Jersey Hammer. Yeah, yeah, Jersey Hammer. Leitner was the racial aspect when it comes to the dream team. You can't make it too black. You got to add some vanilla in that coffee. You know, John Stockton and Chris Mullen is not enough. Is not enough vanilla in that coffee. You have to add Christian Leitner also. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. So because of the racial aspect and how Duke, always had the ability to recruit these Caucasian players and make them play great in a great system, America loved that team and looked at that as the team and looked at Duke as the school to create the next great white hope. Now realistically, these so-called great white hopes, when they made it to the NBA, they never really did much. But it's that hope that America had on Duke, that America put on Duke to create that great white hope. Thus, Duke University and Mike Krzyzewski were always seen as America's team and America's coach. You know, thus Mike Krzyzewski had that wonder boy reputation in college basketball. He was like college basketball's wonder boy, the the creator of the next great white hype. If the next great American white hype or the next great American white hope is going to come back to basketball, if the next Larry Bird is going to come back to basketball, it's going to be through Duke University and Mike Krzyzewski. This is the hope America put on Duke, which is why Duke have that loving reputation, and Mike Krzyzewski had that loving reputation uh, in the college basketball world. Thus, being that Krzyzewski had that reputation, right? And now he's about to leave, the greatest storyline for college basketball and for America, white America, is to have him leave the game while still on top. So what better way for Mike Krzyzewski to leave the game on top by winning a national championship in his final season as head coach? Yo, Rudep is funny. He said, Kyrie don't seem like a Duke alumni. He said they wanted one up and coming Cosby ball play on that squad. Yeah. Okay. I think that was okay. Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, but Jersey Hammer, I think one of the biggest disrespect when it comes to the Dream Team is to not add Dominique Wilkins in that Dream Team. Now, I was reading somewhere where when it came to choosing the players in the Dream Team, that Christian Leitner was chosen over Dominique Wilkins. Now, I don't know how true is that, but I remember years ago I read somewhere where it stated that. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but that's what I read. Someone asked me, who you think is the best Duke player in the league now? Oh, Rudep. Good question, because I was speaking about that with somebody. Joshua Tatum. Joshua Tatum. No, excuse me. Jason Tatum, right? Is that Jason Tatum or Joshua Tatum? I keep forgetting. Man, listen. I don't know. I'm getting old, man. I keep forgetting these motherfuckers' names. Yo, correct me if I'm wrong. Is his name Jason Tatum? The dude that played for the Celtics. Jason Tatum or Joshua? Oh, Jason Tatum. Yeah. Jason Tatum is going to go down to be the greatest NBA player to come out of Duke. The greatest NBA player to come out of Duke is going to be Jason Tatum. Yeah, Jason Tatum. Yep. Because remember, you guys probably remember the Duke curse. People used to call it the Duke curse because most players that came at it that played for Duke University and end up going to the NBA either end up getting injured or just not being that good. Like most players that went to the NBA who played for Duke end up either becoming injured or just not being that good in the NBA. And a lot of people call it the Duke curse. I mean, look at Christian Laettner, went to the NBA, become a bust. Grant Hill, who if it wasn't for his injury, he would have been the greatest NBA player to come out of Duke. But he kept on getting injured and he never recovered from his injuries. Right? Okay. Now, Elton Brand had a decent career. Yeah. Yeah. Zion Williams, I heard he's out for the rest of the season again because he's always getting injured. Okay, RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish. RJ and Cam Reddish are good, but they won't be they're not going to be better NBA players than Jason Tatum. I don't think RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish will become better players than Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum will be the best player to ever come out of Duke. The best NBA player to ever come out of Duke. Kyrie's another one. Yeah, Kyrie was injured ever since he played for Duke. Because remember, he only played 9 games for Duke University, right? He only when Kyrie Irving was playing for Duke during the 2010-2011 season, he only played 9 games. Why? Because he got injured. And then he went to the draft while injured. And once he got in the NBA, he kept re-injuring himself. See, Kyrie Irving, if it wasn't for his injuries, he would have gone down as the best NBA player to play for Duke, right? But because he keep getting injured, I can't put him on that. I can't put him as the greatest Duke player to ever play in the league. So I have to put Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is arguably right now one of the best players in the NBA. And he's healthy. He's like consistently healthy, you know? Yeah, Jahlil Okafor. Yeah, man, a lot of people had high hopes for him, but that's a Duke curse. Jersey Hammer says, I lost money on Zion when he played for Duke. I saw him get pushed around by Taco Fall in the Sweet 16 game that year. Shit. Yeah, man. But going back to what I was saying. Yeah. Going back to what I was saying about my theory with the NCAA wanting to see Duke win it all. Yeah. Duke has become America's team, being that they've been known for recruiting a lot of good Caucasian players to potentially become basketball's great white hope. And of course, realistically speaking, they never did become basketball's great white hope. But that hope that America put on Duke to create the next Larry Bird always existed and still exists today, which is why one of the reasons why Mike Krzyzewski's so loved. Now, I'm not going to take nothing away from Mike Krzyzewski. Mike Krzyzewski is a very good coach, right? But we got to keep it real and add that racial element into that shit. So, America's wonder boy of college basketball, Mike Krzyzewski, is retiring. So, everybody want to see him retire, winning another national championship. And it's the best storyline. Once again, college basketball, no, sports in general, American sports, revolves around a great storyline. You have to have a great storyline when it comes to sports because that's one way to keep the television ratings up. When it comes to a storyline, that's what gets the people watching. That's what keeps that's what keeps the audience watching these games on television. That's what keeps that's what sells tickets in a way. The storyline, you know? I mean, think about it. Look at the sports rivalries that we have over the years. That's a storyline, a rivalry in sports. Look at the different upsets that we see in March Madness. I mean, one of the reasons why people love March Madness is because they're waiting to see the upsets, the storyline. Look at the storyline in this year's NCAA tournament, right? St. Peter's being a number 15th seed, the first number 15th seed to make it all the way to the Elite Eight, right? They knocked off St. Peter's University, a very small school out of Jersey City, New Jersey, eliminated Kentucky, eliminated, then they eliminated Murray State, right? Then they eliminated Purdue. They eliminated three very good schools. And you see and then you see they face on front of every damn newspaper or news article within the past few weeks whenever they speak about the NCAA tournament. A storyline. And it's considered this year's Cinderella teams. That's a storyline. You always have to have a Cinderella team to make a great storyline in sports. I'm just giving you guys examples of sports revolving around great storylines, right? So what better storyline to have in college basketball than Mike Krzyzewski retiring from the game, winning a championship? And at the same time, going to the Final Four and playing against his conference rivals, which is the University of North Carolina. See, the thing is with a good storyline in sports is that that's what creates a lot of memories for people to remember. That's what creates history. You know, a good storyline is good to create a great history in sports. And and that's to keep people talking and talking and talking about the sport. You have to have a great storyline in sports. And a great storyline have to have a great ending. So the greatest ending to this storyline is to end it with Duke going all the way, winning the national championship. Yeah, St. Peter's ran to that buzzsaw with North Carolina tonight, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that St. Peter's was going to lose to North Carolina. I knew that. I didn't watch the game, but I knew that was going to happen. I knew that. Yeah, because St. Peter's, although they played very good team defense, but they was not good enough to defend North Carolina. Now, and not only that, but the NCAA needed North Carolina to win that game against St. Peter's in order for them to make it to the Final Four to play Duke, which is their arch rivals. So once again, storyline. And one of the greatest storylines is to say that you won a national championship, but you had to go through a tough game against your arch nemesis, your rivals, the North Carolina Tar Heels. And then in the next round, Duke University, has to beat Kansas, which is which is the team that Duke beat 30 something years ago to win Mike Krzyzewski's first championship ring. Ain't that some shit? That's a great storyline. Duke Duke University entering the Final Four to play against their rivals. Now remember this. This never happened. Duke and North Carolina never played against each other in the Final Four. Never did. So this is the first time they're going to play each other in the Final Four. And then if Duke beats North Carolina in the first round of the Final Four, they'll advance to the national championship to play against the team that Mike Krzyzewski beat 31 years ago in order to win his first national championship, the Kansas Jayhawks. Because I think the Kansas Jayhawks will beat Villanova in the first round. So, as the SWP Disciple says, I want Duke to win it all. Send Coach K off the right way. Yeah. And that's how America feels. America feels that way. The same way SWP Disciple feels, America feels the same way. Jersey Hammer says, I kind of call that too. I had to work tonight, so I didn't get my betting on it. Okay, I feel you. Rudem says it's like the Brady Belichick with the Rams. Yeah, exactly. But check this out, though. Let me show you guys my brackets with ESPN because, this Final Four, in most of my brackets, I actually predicted three out of the four teams to make it to the Final Four. Let me show you. I did real good in my ESPN brackets. Let me show you guys this shit. Right? Let me show you guys this shit. I did like 14 brackets with the ESPN's men's tournament challenge. This is from ESPN.com, by the way. Right? And look at what I have. My percentage in this one was 97%. My percentage in this one was 92%. In this bracket was 92%. The 97% bracket I had Kansas winning the national championship. In this bracket, where my percentage was 92%, I had Villanova winning the national championship. This I had a 91%. That means with these percentage, that means I've done better than most of the people around the world that played these brackets. Right? 91%. This one I had Baylor going to the national championship, but they got eliminated. This one I had a 90%. Let me show you this one. I'm going to show you this. I think this is my best one right here. These are my best brackets. These two. Let me show you this one right here. A couple weeks ago, I did these brackets, right? I even showed you. I had that on video. So I even, look at my video archive within the past week, and I showed you literally in real time me filling out my brackets, right? But in this bracket, this ESPN bracket of mine, I correctly predicted 3 out of the 4 teams to make it to the Final Four. In this bracket, I predicted Kentucky to make it to the Final Four instead of North Carolina, but thanks to St. Peter's, Kentucky got eliminated in the first round. So I predicted Duke, Villanova, and Kansas to make it to the Final Four. So I correctly predicted 3 out of the 4 teams to make it at the Final Four, right? And within the group that I'm in, The two groups that I'm in, right? The Jay Billis's group and the McDonald's TC group. I have a 97%. So I'm in the 90th percentile or the 97th percentile, and my rank is 546,000. Out of the millions of people that's in these groups, I'm ranked 546,000, which is technically a good thing. Let me read y'all comments. Oh, okay. St. Peter's won money for you, right? Okay. Yeah. So hold on for a minute. What the hell? All right. So on this one, I had I had Kansas winning the national championship and going all the way, right? So let me show you guys another bracket that I did. Because in this ESPN bracket, you could do up to 25 brackets, but I end up doing 14 brackets, right? This bracket of mine, I had Villanova winning the national championship, right? And check this out. In this one, I had Villanova winning the national championship. So even in this one, I was correct 3 out of the 4 times when it comes to when it comes to predicting the team to make it to the Final Four. In this one, I correctly predicted Duke, Villanova, and Kansas once again. But I added Kentucky in this one, and Kentucky fortunately didn't make it. And in this bracket, I predicted Duke and Villanova to make it to the national championship. And in this one, I predicted Villanova to be the champions, right? And this one, let me see, my percentage is a 92%, right? So let me go. Let me go down here. This one, where this one's hot. Where in this one, this bracket right here. Okay. This bracket right here, I correctly predicted 2 out of the 4 teams that made it to the Final Four, right? I correctly predicted Duke and Kansas to make it to the Final Four, right? But in this bracket, I also put Arizona and Baylor to make it to the Final Four, but them two teams got eliminated. And in this bracket, I put Duke to make it to the national championship. In this bracket, I predicted Duke and Arizona to play each other for the national championship and for Duke to go all the way. And in this one, I had 95%, So I'm basically in the 95th percentile in my group with this bracket, right? So, and let me show you guys another one. This one I did good in also. I'm in the 93 percentile in this one. In this one, in this bracket, once again, I correctly predicted 2 out of the 4 teams to make it to the Final Four. I correctly predicted Kansas and Duke to make it to the Final Four. But on this one, I predicted Duke and Kansas to make it to the national championship, and I predicted that Duke will go all the way, in which most likely this is what will happen. I believe it's going to be Duke and Kansas that's going to play each other in a national championship, and Duke is going to go all the way and win it. So far with my ESPN brackets, I did good. So I did good thus far in my ESPN brackets, you know. But yeah, I think that this is all set up. This year's NCAA tournament is all set up for so Duke can win it all. Think that Duke is going to win it all this year, and it's all set up for Duke to win it all because it is good for college basketball to end this year's storyline with Mike Krzyzewski winning a national championship in his final season as head coach for Duke University. So this is all set up for Duke to win. If anybody sees the writing on the wall, they'll see that this is set up for Duke to win. You know? I see that as bright as day. But I'll put the link. I'll put the link to the panel or the link to the stream for anybody that want to come up on the panel and speak and give their 2 cents on this shit. Because that's all I have to say in regards to this topic. That's all I got to say. And yo, dog. Oh man, I forgot to tell y'all, yo. Man, a couple weeks ago, when I went, like 2 weeks ago, when I went to watch the ACC tournament games in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn this year, I watched the Duke Blue Devils played against the University of Miami, right? And you know I was live streaming, and yo, I had a close up on Mike Krzyzewski when he was walking down the players tunnel because I was right next to the players tunnel, and I had a close up, and I had my phone pointed at him, live streaming, right? But guess what? The Wi-Fi in the Barclays Center was so terrible that the picture did not even come out clear. So you guys didn't get a chance to even see him. Damn. Damn. I was like, damn. Let me show you. Let me see. I want to show you guys this shit. Hold on. Let me show you guys this shit. Hold on for a minute. I wanna bring up that video and put it on and screen share it. Is it this shit? Let me see. Is it? Is it this video? So bear with me, guys. Bear with me. No, I don't think this is this video. Fuck it, I can't find that shit. Alright. Fuck it, I can't find that shit. I can't find it, so damn, because I remember live streaming after Duke beat Miami, and I was next to the players' tunnel where after the players finish playing the game, they walk through the tunnel to get to their locker room. There's that tunnel between the seats. So I was right next to that players' tunnel, and I actually was recording the players walking through the players' tunnel, and Mike Krzyzewski, and I recorded Mike Krzyzewski walking down the players' tunnel. Like, I've seen Mike Krzyzewski close up, but the Wi-Fi in the Barclays Center was so fucked up that I didn't get a chance, that the picture did not come out real good, so you guys didn't get a chance to see it. And that was some fucked up shit, man. I was like, damn, I wanted to show you guys that shit, man. I'm like, God damn. How come I can't find the video? I want to find the video where the picture, it came out showing him walking, but you guys it didn't show a clear picture of him. It shows like his shirt, I want to see, I want to know how, yo, I don't think. Is it this? Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show this to you guys. All right. Okay. This is when I was at the Barclays Center watching the Duke Blue Devils play against the Miami Hurricanes in the ACC tournament, right? And after Duke beat Miami, like I said, I was sitting next to the players' tunnel, recording and live streaming the players walk through the tunnel. And and while I was live streaming, Coach Mike Krzyzewski passed me, but the picture came out so bad because the Wi-Fi in the Barclays Center at that time was so terrible. Let me show you guys this. I'm gonna show it to you guys. Hold on for a minute. Let me share once again. See, this is Mike Krzyzewski right here. That's how close I was. That's how close up I was to Mike Krzyzewski. This was him right here. But the picture did not come out good because the Wi-Fi, I was live streaming through YouTube, and the Wi-Fi in the Barclays Center was so bad that the picture did not come out good. But this was Coach K, Coach Mike Krzyzewski walking, you know.
Coach K.
See, and that's why you heard me say Coach K. Yeah.
The real team.
Yeah.
Mike Krzyzewski, head coach of the Duke Blue Devils.
Let me show it. I'm going to fast forward it. And I walk to the place tunnel. This is Coach K right here. Yeah.
The real team.
Yeah. And like I said, the picture didn't come out good. Like I said, the picture didn't come out good because, you know, I connected my phone to Barclays Center's Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi sucked, you know. But that's all I have to say concerning this topic. It's all set up for Duke to win the national championship. It's all set up for Duke to win it all. But anyhow, yo, I'll speak to you guys later. Peace.